Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Erin of Juniper and Oaks, a crochet pattern designer. I like to use intricate fun stitches and crochet along with you all for a common purpose. Here we are doing an ornament crochet along for Christmas ornaments. So today I'm going to teach you how to do the Cozy Alpine Bauble ornament. This ornament uses the Alpine stitch. Before we go any further, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get all of my yarn related videos, and hit that little bell so you're notified when anything new comes out. Thank you so much, and go ahead and just comment down below that you're watching and what you're most excited about to learn about this bauble. So like I was saying, this Cozy Alpine Bauble uses this Alpine stitch worked in the round. So we have Alpine increases and Alpine decreases. And really what the Alpine stitches is we're using double crochet, US terms, and front post double crochet. Alternating double crochet and front post double crochet to create this really great textured Alpine stitch. Now working it in the round is a little bit difficult, but I'm going to walk you through each and every step of this bauble ornament crochet pattern. So what you need for this is, it doesn't take very much yarn. I used scraps that I had lying around. Well, really for this one, I used Brava worsted weight, these little Brava mini skeins. So in these mini skeins, it's 54 yards and 25 grams. Here's a worsted weight yarn, number 4. This is premium acrylic. So that's what I used to make up this, I believe. And it didn't quite take up this whole 25 grams. It was actually 15 grams, which came out to be about 31, 32 yards. So you'll need about, I'll just estimate 35 yards of worsted weight yarn. You can use scraps that you have, get these cute little mini skeins, or what I'm going to use to make up this one is some leftover yarn that I have. This is Furl's Wander acrylic yarn from Furl's Crochet. It's Wander acrylic, also 100% acrylic like this. This one's just a bit more softer, shinier. I used this yarn in my Granny's 4-square pillow, and I had some left over. So I used the same Wander acrylic yarn when working up the plus side ornament for the YouTube video as well. And I just wanted to make all of these bauble patterns using the same colors just for my own Christmas tree. So I'm going to use that same here. I think this color is Meadow from Furl's Wander acrylic yarn. One thing I noticed that's a little bit different about these two yarns is this one is kind of the more standard acrylic yarn. It's just more economical, I guess, I'm not sure how to describe it, but sort of like a Red Heart Super Saver. It's not scratchy, it's not super soft, it's just yarn, and that's great. This one is a bit silkier, shinier, slipperier. So even though they're both worsted weight yarns, I found that my tension, my gauge was different using either of them. So you may choose to go down a hook size. I'm going to continue working this up. I have a size H. This is from Furl's Crochet as well. They sent me this yarn for my holiday projects, and I'm really excited to use it. This is the Odyssey in nickel and emerald. Look at that. I just love it. It's so beautiful. So thank you for Furl's for sending this to me to use in my holiday projects. So that's what I'm using. I'm using a size H, which is a 5mm hook. I've been told that I have tight tension, so you may need to go down to like a G+, even a G. So work up the first few rounds and do a fit check with your baubles. The baubles that I have are 2.56 inches, and I got them from any craft store. So the 2.56 inches, that's the diameter. The diameter is, from side to side, like such, 2.56 inches. If you're basing it based on your circumference, it would be more like 8.5 inches. And then in centimeters, it's like 21 centimeters, 21.5 centimeters. And then the 2.56 inches is like 6.5 centimeters. So again, 2.56 inches, that's the diameter here. I got these at the craft store. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I know that Joann's has some Michaels as well. So they're just clear plastic, and we're going to work these similar to like an amigurumi, and then where it gets time to where we would stuff amigurumi instead, we're going to put in the bauble and then finish crocheting around it. You see I have all these different baubles here for the crochet along, so my desk is kind of a mess, but I'm excited to work these up with you. So that is what you will need to make this cozy alpine bauble. You'll need about 35-ish yards of worsted weight yarn, size H hook or smaller because I crochet a little bit tighter, and then a bauble. And here we go. Let's get started. To get started, we are going to start with a magic circle. If you're not sure how to make a magic circle, I do have a YouTube video available for you to watch. But I did it in slow motion there, so maybe you caught on. Then for round 1, we're going to chain 3. Chain 3 here does count as a double crochet, counts as a stitch. We're going to work 9 more double crochets inside that magic circle. We're using US terms here. So double crochet as we yarn over, insert in the magic circle, and make our double crochet hook, or double crochet stitch. So we're going to there'll be a total of 10 double crochets, the first one being the chain 3, and then we're doing 9 more. So there'll be 10 stitches in the end. Of course, I haven't been counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have 10 stitches here. To double check, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the end here of my magic circle a little tight. And I'm going to be doing a slip stitch to this 3rd chain here to join. And then in every round, we're going to slip stitch that first stitch to join, okay? So now we're ready for round 2. We're going to chain 3. And we're not going to turn. We're just going to keep on working around in the same direction that we've been working. So no need to turn here. We chained 3, and that counts as a double crochet stitch, okay? Now in that same first stitch, the one right here, we're going to be working a front post double crochet. Front post double crochet is, instead of going through the stitch here on the top, we're going to go around the post. So here's the stitch to the right of the stitch. We're going to go through and then hug that post like that. So the back side looks like that, where you can't see the stitch because the hook is there. And here are the stitches in front. That's a front post, and it's double crochet, remember, US terms. Okay, so in that first stitch we have our double crochet, or chain 3, which is a double crochet, and we also have a front post double crochet. Now in every other stitch around, we're going to be doing a double crochet and a front post double crochet in the same stitch. So we're increasing this stitch, going from 10 double crochets, and in the end we'll have 20 stitches, 10 double crochets, 10 front post double crochets. So in that second stitch we're doing double crochet, and then that same front post double crochet. Let's see that again. And we're doing that all the way around, okay? So double crochet and front post double crochet, double crochet, front post double crochet. In here, we're already starting the basis of the Alpine stitch. Remember, the Alpine stitch is we're alternating double crochet and front post double crochet. And then the way the next row works will really help bring out those textured stitches of the Alpine stitch. Remember, in every stitch we're doing a double crochet and a front post double crochet. Doing that all the way around. In the end, we will have 10 double crochets and 10 front post double crochets. I have other Alpine stitch patterns if you are interested in them. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I forgot about, okay, I just needed to count because here's this stitch here. To finish her off. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, there's not. I lied. Confusing y'all. Okay. No. Ah. I'm not confusing you all. I'm confusing myself. So it should be 20, right? Okay. So I'm sorry. You know, in my day job, my real job, I guess it's not really a day job, I work as a nurse at a children's urgent care, and it is sick season. So I was up kind of late. And anyway, I also have children, so let's just say my brain isn't functioning properly. Anyways, okay, once you have done all of your 20 stitches, you're going to go and slip stitch to this double crochet stitch to join. The top of your chain 3, slip stitch to join. Sorry about that, just know I'm human, and ha ha ha. Now we are ready for round 3. Round 3, we're going to start with a chain 3 again. That counts as our double crochet. And then we will do a front post double crochet in that first stitch below, and that's going to be that chain 3 stitch of row 2. Okay, because of the way that the stitches are kind of laid on top of each other, you might have to dig for it a little bit. You see it's right there. There's the chain 3. Maybe it would help if I push this down a little bit. Sorry, it was so far away. Okay, so in that first stitch, we had our chain 3 and then the front post double crochet, all in that first stitch. And then in the next stitch, here on top of this front post double crochet, we're going to be doing just a double. Double. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the third stitch. And here's what we're going to repeat. In the third stitch, we're doing a double crochet and a front post. And then in the next stitch, we're doing a double crochet. So we're just increasing every other this time. And so here's the third stitch. We do a double crochet, double, and a front post in that stitch. And then in the next stitch, just a double. And then in this next stitch, we are doing a double crochet and a front post. And then a double crochet in the next stitch. And that's what we repeat around. Double, front post double, and double. In the end of this round, we will have 20 double crochets and 10 front post double crochets. Something that you will notice is that besides like really the increase, the first double crochet stitch, in each double crochet we work a front post double, and in each front post double we work a double. This first increased stitch doesn't really count because that's just a double crochet, but in that same stitch we do a front post. And that's how we get the Alpine stitch, by working the opposite stitch into the opposite stitch. We do that double, which is the increase, and then front post double in that same stitch. And the next one, see how that's a front post, and I'm going to work a double crochet here. And that's how we get the Alpine stitch, alternating front post and doubles. I talk too much and I don't know what I'm actually doing. Okay. And then once more, one last time, double crochet, front post, double in the same stitch. And then in one last stitch, we're doing double crochet. Right, and then you're going to slip stitch to that chain to join. We are now ready for round 4. Round 4 is a little bit of a wonky round. We are done increasing. We ended with 30 stitches, and the round 4 will also have 30 stitches. So we're not going to be doing any increasing. And I said round 4 was a little bit wonky, because usually with Alpine stitch, like we've kind of said already in the last little section, was that your front post doubles are going to be worked in the double crochets, and your double crochets are going to work in your front post stitches. Round 4 is going to be a little bit wonky because of the way the increases worked in round 3. So just bear with me through round 4, and then for the rest of the pattern it should be a little bit more Alpine stitch, where you just get the hang of it and you don't have to think about it too much. Okay, so for round 4, we're going to just start with a chain 1. In the last rows, we've done chain 3, but instead we're doing just a chain 1. And that is because the first stitch we're going to do is a front post double. We're going to work a front post double crochet right around the chain 3 from round 3. Yarn over, and we're going to do a front post double crochet right away here. Okay. And then in the next stitch, we're doing a double. And then the next stitch, we're doing a front post. And that's how round 4 is. We're just doing, starting with front post, then double, then front post, then double, and it around. Don't really pay attention to what's happening to the stitches below. It's not necessarily in a true Alpine form, like I said, but we're just alternating front post, double, front post, double, front post, double. In the end, you will have 30 stitches. You will have 15 front post and 15 double. I get tripped up a little bit because I'm trying to do true alpine stitch form and it just doesn't really match up. So just keep in mind, front post, double, double, front post, double, double. Every other stitch, you're just changing what kind of stitch it is, and it doesn't matter what kind of stitch you're working into. On top of your last stitch, you're doing a double crochet. Okay, and then you're going to slip stitch to that front post double. And there you have it. You see we're starting already to curve a little bit. So that was round 4. It was a little bit wonky. We did the best we can. And start with a little fit check. And there you go. Next we're going to move on to round 5. And round 5 and round 6 are true alpine stitches. This is where we get into where we get comfortable with the alpine stitch quite a bit without any increases before we start doing a decrease, because round 7 already will be where we start decreasing. So let us begin round 5. Round 5, we're going to start with chain 3. And that counts as a double crochet, remember? So we did our chain 3, and now in this next stitch, we're not going to work in that first one. We're going to now start in the next stitch. In the second stitch, you could say, we're going to work a front post double. And now notice how our front post double is going to be worked in a regular double. And then on top of that front post double, we're going to work double. And we are going to continue just alternating front post and double, front post and double. And this time it makes it a little bit easier on us because each double is worked on top of the front post, and each front post is worked around each double. This round can go a little bit faster because you don't really have to think about it too much. And that's what the alpine stitch is. All the way around. At the end of this row, you will end up with 15 front post and 15 double. You have 30 stitches. We ended with that front post double crochet, and now I'm going to slip stitch the top of the chain 3, join, and look at that beautiful alpine stitch. I recommend doing fit checks in case we have to undo it all and start with a smaller hook size. But yep, I think that's going to fit. I was really worried because I feel like my gauge with this wand yarn is a lot different than my gauge with the frills yarn. I mean the Bauble yarn. Now we're ready for round 6. Round 6 is going to be a repeat of round 4. And I'll walk you through it. We chain 1, and then in that first chain 3 space right here, not the chain 3 space, but around that chain 3, we are going to do a front post double. And then in the next stitch, on top of that front post, we're going to do just a regular double. And we alternate all the way around. Front post around that double, and double on top of that front post. All the way around. Here is the last stitch of round 6. In this front post stitch, we're going to end with a double crochet. And then we slip stitch to the top of that first stitch to join. Okay, who's ready for round 7? Round 7 is where we're going to start doing the Alpine decreases. Boom, boom, boom. And we also have reverse Alpine decreases. So the Alpine decrease is you're going to work a front post double and a double crochet together. And we're going to try to stay consistent with the Alpine stitch. The first part of the decrease is going to be a double crochet, and the second part is a double crochet. So it's almost like decreasing with a double crochet or double crocheting 2 together, except we're like front post double and double 2 together, if that makes any sense. And then the reverse Alpine decrease is very similar to it, but we're going to start with a double and then do the front post double and work those 2 stitches together. If I've confused you, just hold on, because here we go. I'm going to teach you how to do it. It's going to be okay. Chain 3. Ooh, my yarn is a little ugly right here. That's okay. Chain 3, and then we're going to go right away with our Alpine decrease, okay? This front post double crochet right here, this is the first stitch, and we're not going to work in that. We're going to work our Alpine decrease in these 2 stitches. So we're going to work these 2 stitches together into one. And the regular Alpine decrease, remember, is we're going to start with our front post. So we yarn over, go around the post. So we grab that front post, yarn over or pull through, yarn over, pull through, and before we finish that front post double crochet stitch, we're going to start and do the double crochet stitch in the next. We're going to work these 2 together. So leave these final 2 loops unworked, yarn over again, and now insert at the top of that stitch like we're doing just a regular double crochet, pull through, and over, pull through 2, and now we have 3 loops left on, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, so that's how we do the Alpine decrease. Next, we're just going to work a front post double around this double crochet stitch. This front post stitch, that belongs to the little Alpine decrease we just did. So here's the next stitch we're going to work. We are going to do a front post double around that one. Okay, nothing too fancy there. Now the next stitch we're going to be doing is the reverse Alpine decrease. And for that one, we start with a double crochet. remember? So we're going to start the double crochet, but we're not going to finish it because before we do our last yarn over and pull through, we're going to have 2 loops on the hook. We yarn over and we're going to start here. We're going to do a front post. We're working those 2 stitches together. Okay, and then you have 3 loops here, yarn over, pull through all 3. I hope that makes some sense because now we're just going to repeat that. Remember we started round 7 with a chain 3. That counted as a double crochet. So we're going to do double crochet, alpine decrease, front post double crochet, and then the reverse alpine decrease, and we're going to repeat that around. Don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it again. Yarn over, and in that top of that first front post, you're going to work a double crochet, and then we're going to work the next 2 stitches together. So yarn over, do the front post, pull through the yarn, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and we have 2 loops left over. Now we're going to yarn over, go through the top like we're doing a regular double crochet, pull through, yarn over, go through 2, and now we're going to yarn over and go through all 3 of those. Then in the next stitch, not that one because we just worked that one, in this double crochet we're going to do a front post double. And then we do our reverse alpine decrease. We yarn over, start with the double, don't finish it, we're going to leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, do a front post here, and just like that. We're just going to repeat that all the way around. So first, double crochet, and then for our alpine decrease, we're going to work the front post and the double together. See how I'm working up a little bit faster because I got a little rhythm going. So front post, and for the reverse, we work the double and front post together. You see how we're still alternating double, front post, double, front post, but we're just adding that complicated decrease in there. So double, and then the decrease where we do the front post, double, then we do a front post, and we do the reverse, double, front post. Hope you're still following along. You can always stop and rewind back to where I explain this slower. Okay, and we end it with the reverse alpine decrease, the reverse alpine decrease. And then we're going to slip stitch to the top here to join. Okay, now we have decrease, and we have 20 stitches. Some of those are the decreases, some of those are front post, some of those are double, but we just have 20 stitches in the end. Here is where we're going to insert our bauble stitch. I want to make sure that my end that we started with is kind of tucked down in there so it's not in my way. And then I insert my bauble. You can definitely see my ring light, can't you? It's going to be kind of awkward to work around that, but I can kind of see that my tension was a little bit tighter than when I worked this one. If need be, you can work another row of alpine stitches. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so for round 8, we're going to start with a chain 1. And now we're going to be working Alpine decrease stitches all the way around. And remember, the Alpine decrease stitch is we're going to work a front post and a double crochet together in the same stitch. So we're not gonna do the reverse Alpine stitch at all in this round. It's just the Alpine decrease all the way around. We're gonna yarn over, and on top of this chain 3 from round 7, we're gonna work a front post double around there. We're gonna work that until we have 2 hooks left, or 2 loops left on our hook. And then now we're going to, on top of this decrease stitch, we're going to work our double crochet. And then now we have 3 loops left on our hook, and I'm yarned over and going to pull through all 3 of those. So that's our Alpine decrease. Then here we have the standalone front post stitch, and I'm going to work my front post of the Alpine decrease right here. Don't finish it off. And on top of this decrease stitch right here, we're going to do our double crochet. And we work the front post and the double together. So here on this standalone, we're going to do a front post before we finish it off. We have 2 loops left on our hook. And we're going to do our double. 3 loops left on. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of those. Again, I think my tension was just off here, so if yours is looking a little bit looser than mine, that's just fine. We'll just continue working around. So we're going to do a front post double around that front post. And we do, oops, you see my mistake? I did an actual front post, but we're doing the Alpine decrease, meaning we're not going to close off our front post. We're going to work it together. So there's 2 loops left on your hook. You're going to do your double crochet in the next stitch, and then pull through all 3 loops. Okay, front post around this. Notice that each standalone stitch is where you do your front post, and you're working that together with the double crochet, which is on the decrease stitch here. Okay, then in this standalone we do our front post, and then we do double crochet here. Okay, front post. Oops, don't finish it off. Silly, silly. And our double crochet here. Now we do our front post around that front post. Don't finish it off. And we do our double on top of that decrease. Not quite there to the end yet. A few more. At the end of the row you will have 10 decreases. 10 stitches. Okay, I think one more and that'll finish us off. Okay, yep, that'll come together nicely. And then we're going to slip stitch to that first decrease stitch just to finish our round. That is round 8. The end of round 8, we take our scissors. Look at these cool things I got at my local yarn shop. Doop. And we leave a long tail. Snip that off. So here's kind of the yarn long tail I have. Oh, that's a little bit too much. That's okay. And I fasten off like so. I pray that my kids didn't use my yarn needle like they do a lot of times. Here we go. And use the yarn needle on the end. What I do is we're going to weave the tail in and out of each stitch around. So I go like so. Then each of these stitches go around and around and around. And all of these 10 stitches. Read it back to the beginning. And then once you get to the beginning, you pull that tight. Ooh, and doesn't that look nice? So fasten this however you wish. I just tie kind of a little knot. If this was amigurumi, like a stuffed animal for my kids, I would definitely make sure that this was like super secure. But this is a Christmas ornament, and it's going to hang on the tree for a month or two, and then it's going to be put away in a box for next year. So I don't get really too concerned about how tight I make it or what happens to my ends, because what I'm just going to do is I'm going to hide this end. Kind of just shove it down in there. And it doesn't really matter where, how long. I don't think this is going to come undone. Snip that, and then that end is hidden in there. You add a hook right here and hang it on your tree. So that is the Cozy Alpine Bauble stitch. Did you enjoy this pattern? It was a little bit complicated, I know, with our Alpine increases and our Alpine decreases. I'm just looking at these two, and this yarn is just thinner and different, and I'm pretty sure it has the same amount of stitches. It's just different yarn, so it works up a little bit different, and that's okay, because these are some scrappy baubles that you make using whatever yarn that you have on hand, whatever hook works for your bauble. And excuse me, they're just fun, aren't they? I have other Christmas ornaments, YouTubes, and crochet patterns on my blog. So definitely thank you for joining this video. Please subscribe and then click the bell here down below in order to get notified whenever I come out with new yarn related content, whether it's a full pattern tutorial, a stitch tutorial, unboxing, chat with other crochet designers, just whatever yarn related content we have. Thank you.